swishing, I'm swiping, but you won't hear me griping, cause I'm blessing my house today. I really dig it, I get it, it only takes a minute to keep my house looking this way. And you should see me move when I'm getting in the groove with a can-do attitude, or I fly so high when I'm swishing and swiping. No, you won't hear me griping, cause I'm blessing my house today. That's right. I've made it a habit, there's nothing hard about it, just 15 minutes a day.
111 people in here.
I'm cleaning and flinging, I do my quick routines, and
come on in.
Able to play. And you should see me smile when I'm sprucing up this title. Only takes a little while and I'm done. And it's fun when I'm swishing and swiping. No, you won't hear me griping, cause I'm blessing my house today. Here we go now. Swish and swipe. Around and round I scroll, just once around this tub, and things are looking up and I fly so high when I'm swishing and swiping. No, you won't hear me griping, cause I'm blessing my house today. That's right, I'm blessing my house today.
Yeah, I think I stopped it. Thought of something I wanted to talk about at tea time today. I wrote it down so I won't forget. Anyway, you know what today is? And I don't have the heart to do it to you. I really do not have the heart to do anything to you today, because this whole past year has been one big April Fool's joke. And I'm so done with it. I just can't even go there. So I'm not going to pull an April Fool's joke on you this year. I've done some good ones. I've told you to drag your mattresses out in the yard. I've had you swear off wearing shoes. I've done lots of things to get to you. I mean, I really have. But you know, I don't have the heart this year. We've just had too much stuff done to us this year, and I'm not going there. So we're gonna have question and answer day. I got 4 pages of questions, and you know, we just have to pray for all our political leaders. We have to pray for. We just have to pray. Have to pray. So, no April Fool's joke from me today. Maybe next year. But I'm just not into practical or funny jokes. And they were funny. One year we said we were doing away with our feather dusters, that they really didn't work. Or we were doing away with our water bottles one year. We've done some good ones. And really we have, it's been, y'all have gotten so mad at me once upon a time. So this is no joke. The multi-wand sale that's been going on for 6 months is ending on Wednesday. So right now, the multi-wand, just the multi-wand by itself, is $10. It's going to go back to its normal price on Wednesday of next week. So are you ready for questions? Well, I got the questions, but are you ready for the answers? So here we go. Let me see where. 4 pages. Let me get my AirPods situated. Now, if you've ever had an AirPod fall out of your ear and go into oblivion, it happened to a dear friend of mine last night. She could not, she felt it fall out of her ear, but then she couldn't find it. She couldn't find it at all. And it went into a black hole. And you know what that black hole was? It was in her shoe. One she'd kicked off. So look in your shoe. I put my shoe on one time and something was tickling my toes. And I took my shoe off and there was a big old spider in my shoe. Okay. First question is, regarding paperwork, how long do you keep utility and charge card statements? I don't keep them. Why do you need them? If you've paid them, you have a record in your bank statement. If you think you might need one I had to have something in my name to do something once upon to get my driver's license, to get the star on my driver's license or something. So I had to have a copy of something, but I don't even get bills anymore. I am totally on paperless billing. So that, I don't do it, and I don't use any part of my house on my income tax for offices. That's a red flag that will get you audited in a heartbeat. So I don't do that. So if you want to know how long to keep things, go to Dave Ramsey's website and he'll tell you. Just type in the search box, how long do you keep such and such? But if we get a statement, it gets burned as soon as it's paid. It gets burned in the fireplace. Okay, next question. How do I defrost and clean my freezer? Well, usually that entails taking the food out and turning it off and letting it melt. Because if you have an old chest top freezer that has a lot of frost buildup, you have to let it go. You just have to let it go. So you have to take your frozen food out, put them in ice chests, and hold it cold until you can melt that ice. Some people like to take a hairdryer and do it, but you can warp the plastic lining in your freezer. So be careful. Maybe you want to use up all the food out of your freezer and then defrost it, but be aware that it's gonna drain water out, and you don't want to chip it off. It's better just to let it thaw on its own. That's the easiest way. Then wipe it down. And look up your manufacturers, how they recommend to do it. Go online, DuckDuckGo, and figure out how to do it. Next question. What are the devotionals of the 2 Scots that you listen to each day? Well, Scott Adams I've been listening to Scott for 6 years, I guess. One of my AirPods died. I guess it's this one. I've been listening to Scott Adams for 6 years, and he was on Periscope, but now Periscope has gone away. He's on YouTube, and soon Locals will have a live feature, but he's on YouTube every morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Time, and he does a live show. And he does funny, like you take a picture of what the show's, your thumbnail for the show, and he's always doing something funny on that picture, and he's sort of inspired me to do something funny. Like today, one of our fly babies sent me this Energizer bunny because her husband works for Energizer. So, and one day I mentioned I was the Energizer, but I got up at the crack of dawn this morning. I was wide awake, and I thought, just get up and get after it. And so I did. So I got all my work done in no time at all. Well, I hadn't got it all done, but I got a lot done. So one is Scott Adams, and the other one is Scott Kesterson. And he does a podcast on Podbean, and it goes to Apple Podcasts. There's no video with it. It's just he does a morning devotional, an evening devotional. He does a funny news report at 5:30 in the afternoon, and it's hilarious. He makes fun of stuff, and I like to laugh. Sometimes I laugh out loud. And then he does, at 9 o'clock at night, he does something called, well, I don't know what it's called, but he's usually he's interviewing somebody, and it's really good. I mean, he interviewed Robert Kennedy Jr. the other night. He's interviewed some great people, and I like his show. And then at midnight, he has a nightly devotional that sometimes I don't listen to because it's so late. So I listen to it first thing in the morning. But he is quite an interesting guy who had a come to Jesus experience, and it changed his life. And you can tell he's a new Christian. You can tell. Well, I don't think he's a new Christian, but he's a new studied Christian. And you can tell that he's just burning up with passion for the Lord. So, and he puts his take on things, and it's just a wonderful way to end my day and start my day. And it's called Bards FM, Bards FM. He's a filmmaker, is who he was, and he worked at Fort Meade and for the CIA, and worked with Canadian military, and did a movie about them. And he believes in gardening and being self-sufficient, and I think that's an important thing. Any suggestions on what types of food to stock your pantry with? Well, I think you have to have all kinds of food. You need lots of dried beans, rice. I have canisters of these things: dried beans and rice and pastas, dried stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated, things that can go in the pantry. I have canned goods. I have spices. My pantry goes floor to ceiling. It's not real deep. It's only a foot deep. But I have fruits and cake mixes and stuff for baking at the top because I don't use those often. And I have some cartons of milk and evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk. That's sort of things that I use in baking. Then the next level comes down, and it's staples. It's beans and rice and macaroni, and behind everything is my stock of spaghetti. Lots of spaghetti boxes lined up across the back, and trying to think, crackers. And then the next level is soups, canned goods, soups, tomatoes, better than bouillon stuff, and that's full. And then the next shelf has some spaghetti sauces and other things like that, big cans of beans and salsa, and just so having a stocked pantry, and Leanne has stuff on her website about what to put in your pantry. Your pantry is like going to the grocery store. You have everything you need to cook meals out of that. Now, I also have a baking pantry that has my flour, sugar, cornmeal, and it's over there by my mixer. Cornmeal, brown sugar, self-rising flour, self-rising cornmeal, grits. It's all in this cabinet. So having a stock pantry keeps you sane. Can I access your Fly Lady Plus app in the UK? I do not know. You need to look in your app store and look for Fly Lady Plus. I don't know how Apple does it. Don't have a clue. And Fly Lady Plus is not my app. It's my nephew, Alexander. He built it. My morning routine is running on autopilot. I can't seem to get an afternoon or evening routine going. What do you suggest I do for them? And when is a good time to start for each of these? Okay, both my AirPods have died. Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up on Facebook if you can hear me, because right now I'm flying blind, flying not deaf, mute, because both my AirPods have died and I don't know why. Probably because I talked about losing one today. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. We can hear. Okay, thanks. So morning routine is a great routine. My routine has been on autopilot for 20 years or more. My before bed routine, you don't have a time set to start it. And I've watched my husband. He's amazing. But at 11:30, he starts his before bed routine. It takes him 20 minutes. At 11:49, he comes in and he says, I'm going to bed. And I said, I'll either tell him you're a minute late or you're 2 minutes early or what's going on, you're going to bed early. His routine is to empty the litter boxes and brush his teeth and floss his teeth. And I think he takes a medication at night, and there you go. And he's ready to go. He turns the bed down. The dog follows him to bed, and he puts his computer on to charge. He takes his phone with him into the bedroom, because I don't take my phone in the bedroom. So if there's any emergency alerts, he's got his phone and it'll go off and I'll hear it even with my earplugs in, because I sleep with earplugs. So you got to pick a time to start your before bed routine, and you don't have to wait until right before bed. Here's what you can do. Start right after dinner. Get your bath. I like to take my bath about 6:30 at night because I don't want to watch the news. I'm just sick of it. Sick of all of it. So I choose to listen to the Spiff report from Bard's FM instead of listening to the news. I want to laugh. And the news makes me yell at the TV. So I don't want my blood pressure to get up. I don't want to get riled in any way. So I want to laugh. Now, Robert watches it and he tells me what happens. But coming from him, I'm not going to yell at him. I'm not going to do that because he's my sweet darling. So pick a time. As soon as dinner's over, get your kitchen clean and dishes in the dishwasher and dishwasher going, unless you're going to take baths. And I set mine a lot of times to go 3 hours later, and it'll kick off about 10 o'clock. This morning, I will admit, I got up to mystery water in my kitchen sink. I did it. I had a griddle that I had cooked a meatloaf on last night, and it had nastiness on it. And I put it in a sink full of hot soapy water, and I forgot about it because I didn't set my I usually turn the light on over the refrigerator to remind me to go back in the kitchen and finish up something. And I didn't do that. So this morning I got up at 8 o'clock. Well, it was really like 20 minutes till 8. And went in the kitchen and I was greeted with mystery water. Now, my heart sunk because I'm not used to doing that. Somebody's asking me if I use a pillow in the bathtub. No. I bought a bathtub that I tried out before I bought it. I sat down in it and it's got a slant to the back of my bathtub that fits my neck wonderfully. And I don't need a pillow. So start your before bed routine as soon as you get through with dinner. Now you can pick out your clothes when you do the laundry. You can put them into outfits and file them in a basket and you're ready to go. Put them in a drawer. Put them all on a hanger and put note cards on them with the days of the week. You can get that done ahead of time. But your before bed routine is the most important routine of your day. You got that? The most important. Now, afternoon routine, as soon as you have lunch, there should be things that you do, like start dinner. I'd kind of like to get that started as soon as I'm through with this show. A lot of times I'll go in and get dinner started. And it keeps me from being nuts in the afternoon. I don't like being rushed. I hate being rushed. I tried on my bathtub. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, I tried on my bathtub. I did. I wanted it to be long enough for me to relax in. And I added an extra foot to my bathroom so it would fit when we remodeled. And it works. It does. So what do you suggest I do for them? And when is a good time to start each of these? I would start my afternoon routine at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I would start my before bed routine at 7. That way you get it done. I like to use commercials. I like to use commercials to sort of do my before bed routine, clean off hot spots, that sort of thing. Okay. Here comes a good question. Scum build up in my tub, but I can't get on my knees yet post-surgery. Any suggestions? Why are you worrying about that right now? You've had surgery. You need to heal. Now, if you will use our broom, you can scrub your tub standing up. No excuses. No excuses. It'll scrub, it'll squeegee, it'll do everything. And if you've had knee surgery, you can't get down in a bathtub right now. All you're being able to do. Now, a lot of people buy a toilet bowl brush, the rubber swisher, and use this just in their tub for scrubbing their tub. Really does do a good job. You got a little extra handle on it, but the mop has a big handle on it. And the multi-wand, I'm having a meltdown here. The multi-wand is good too, but it doesn't scrub like the broom does. The rubber sweeper. So, but why are you worrying about that now? The scum has been there for a while. Don't beat yourself up because now you're noticing it because you're not able to do a whole lot. Let it go. It'll be there to clean when you get well. But don't be getting down on your knees. I like to clean my bathtub when I'm in the bathtub. I keep a purple rag in my bathtub. I keep some mesh things for making suds in my bathtub, and I wipe down the edges of the tub. I wipe down the shelves in the tub, all while I'm sitting there. And I use the same soap that I put on my body. because that's what it is. Now, a purple rag will do an amazing job of getting the soap scum off of your doors and walls and bathtub ring. It'll do a great job. But while you're sitting there and you're putting some conditioner on your hair, then go for it. Go for it. But don't worry about it right now. We'll be back around to cleaning the tub in no time at all, but you can't hurt yourself. Get something with a little extra reach, like the $10 multi-one. I use it for behind my toilet. Did you save items for your son to have, like for when he got his own place, or did he acquire things on his own over time? Well, Emily and Justin moved up here right after he got out of college. And he started working. Fly Lady hadn't started yet, and he started working for a carpenter. And that carpenter's name was Mark Goff, and he learned a lot of things from Mark. He learned some life skills from Mark that he's still using today, and he's passing on to his son. But it was good, hard work. And then there was a downturn in the economy about the time Fly Lady started, so we hired Justin to paint our house, our basement, concrete blocks. And he started painting the concrete blocks, and then Fly Lady started, and we needed to ship books to Amazon because that's where we sold them. And we started selling books on Amazon, and Justin started packing books on Amazon, and the rest is history. But I didn't save things for him. We went to estate auctions, and we bought, because they were supposed to get married in June. But here it was December, and Justin was living in a little apartment above a storage unit. He's kind of like night watchman, that sort of thing. And we bought some things at auction for him to have, and it's just inexpensive stuff, $100 here and $100 there, and got him what he needed. But I didn't save things for him. I did not save things for him because I didn't have a whole lot of things myself other than what I needed. So I didn't have a hope chest for him. Didn't do that because kids don't really like our stuff. And neither do their future wives. But Emily was graduating college and she needed to do her student teaching. And they were wanting to get married. And so I was a county commissioner at the time, and I called over to Western Carolina University, which is our education college for teachers and things in the state. And they worked with her to student teach in North Carolina for her University of Memphis degree. And it was just the sweetest thing ever. And she taught at the elementary school here at Brevard Elementary. She did her student teaching. And they got married at Christmas, December the 19th. And it was just a beautiful, the church was already decorated for Christmas. All our bridesmaids wore black dresses and carried red roses. And it was just a simple, beautiful wedding. And then she started her student teaching. And Justin kept working and it was great. It was great. So then they bought their first house over in Asheville, and it was just good. Can you suggest what to have on a launch pad for a homeschool mom? Well, the launch pad is where the kids and you got to start teaching. And having your books ready right there, or where you're going to start on the dining room table or wherever your classroom is, you may not have to leave the house, but you might want to leave the house to sort of get a transition to your day, like walk around the block to get a little loving movement in before you start class and get out in some sunshine. I know it's getting warmer. It's going to be cold this weekend, y'all, so if you've got plants that need covered up, do it. But you might not need to have a launch pad if you're homeschooling, because you're not going anywhere. But if you're going to take a walk around the block, you may need a jacket there. You may need an umbrella if you're going to walk out in the rain. And that's a fun trek for kids in the morning, to get out in the rain and have a good time stepping in mud puddles. But then you come back in and you start school. But keep your purse, your keys. Have a place for all these things. Have pegs on the wall, hooks on the wall. It'll be fun. How do you take care of everything and still have time for self-care? You put it first. Yeah. Your before bed routine is first. So that's where you can take care of yourself. While you're watching TV, do your nails. Wash your face as part of your before bed routine. I wash my face morning and night as part of my before bed routine. And I just take care of the things that I need to do because they're a priority for me. I'm going to get in front of you twice a day on the camera. I don't want to look like a haint. Yeah, I said it. Like a haint. I don't want to look like a haint. I want to look and I want to feel good. And taking care of yourself is all about flying. Finally loving yourself. You've put yourself on the back burner way too long. So stop it. Put yourself first. Love yourself. The Bible teaches us this, to love your neighbor as yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So take care of yourself. And when you make an excuse, how do you have time to do it when you're doing everything else? That's whining. It's flat out whining. So stop it. Stop it now. And just make some time. 5 minutes. 20 minutes in the bath with the bubbles and Epsom salt. Take care of yourself. Take your supplements. It takes a minute to take your supplements. It takes like 5 minutes to put your supplements together for a week. Take care of yourself. Quit whining. Instead of lace-up tennis shoes, will you accept slip-on tennis shoes? As my feet swell so much, the laces dig in throughout the day. Well, I actually have fake tennis shoes. They're like compression socks for my feet. And they're called they're not flip-flops. Okay, somebody tell me what my shoes are. Fit flops. And they're elastic, but they have fake laces on them. And they keep massaging my foot all day. Sometimes I don't even take them off until I'm getting ready to go to bed. Fit flops. And they're fake. Sometimes I have worn Velcro sandals. The whole idea is not to be able to get them off easy. Not to be able to get them off easy. What's a haint? A ghost. So yeah, you can wear shoes that are fake Velcro tennis shoes or whatever. Some people have a hard time tying shoes. I don't have a hard time tying shoes. I just want something that's going to keep compression on my feet all day long. Okay, here's a good question for all you military families. My husband is retiring from the Navy in a few weeks, which means he will be home a lot more. How do I help teach him fly lady routines so he can back me up when it comes to our kids 5, 7, and 8 years old? You can't. Don't do this to your husband. He didn't sign up for fly lady. If he's been in the Navy for all these years, you're used to him being gone in long stretches. And you have become mommy and daddy to these kids. Now, he's going to be home. He's got to feel needed. So instead of you lugging in the 25 pounds of bird seed or dog food or whatever it is, ask for his help kindly. Say, honey, would you please get the bird food out of the car for me? And he will. And let him know how happy how happy you are to have him at home. But don't start treating him like one of the kids. He's not. He is your sweet darling. And don't do that to him. I have spoken at military posts all over this country to help wives and husbands get ready for the return of their spouse from being deployed. You have to cement your relationship. Date night is going to be special. Let him know how happy you are that he's home. Don't force something down his throat. He's just getting out of the military, y'all. So be good, kind, and sweet. He's going to see how wonderful the routines work with the kids. He's going to say, what are you doing? You know why I know this? Because I got a testimonial from a top man from Fort Campbell one time. And his wife was doing fly lady. And he would go off to Iraq for 6 weeks at a time, and he'd come back and he'd see a change in their house because she was decluttering, getting rid of some of her clutter every day. And he was scared to death that another shoe was going to drop. And he would notice all these fly lady emails coming in. I don't know if they had, he noticed the emails and his wife reading them. And he was scared to ask. But then he started looking at the system, and it is a system. And he started implementing the shiny sink rule because he was in charge of training the Iraqi troops. Yeah, he was. He started implementing the lace-up shoes, and the shiny sink became their shiny rifles, and they were stuck and can't have anyone over to this country for a long time because of Saddam Hussein. So it was a priceless testimonial I got one time. Keep doing what you're doing with the kids, but include your husband in being the mom and dad in the home, not another child. Don't make him feel bad. He's been in charge for a while, and now he's retiring. I have a husband who's been retired for 12 years, y'all. 12 years from being a judge. He has found a way to keep our forest looking wonderful. He takes on projects that he makes up for himself. He bought a chipper, and he can't wait to get the chipper going again this summer. He's having fun managing our 10 acres of forest. He loves it. It's important for your husband to take a break and relax for a little, and then he'll find something he wants to do. Next question. I can't wait to be able to let people in my house. What do you suggest I do? I feel as baby steps will drag out the process. That's because you're a perfectionist. At 1 o'clock today, you're going to get my crisis cleaning video. That'll get your house looking good enough to have company over. Right now, Justin and Emily are trying to look for a place to have a graduation party for Ethan. He's graduating high school. Church won't let them have it there. So they don't know what they're going to do. And I said, maybe you just wait and have a graduation party for him when he graduates college in 4 years. Well, really, not even 4 years, because he's got a 2-year degree getting out of high school. Main thing here is open the doors to your home. Maybe you have something going on outside in the backyard. Justin and Emily could have a party. They could have a party outside in May. And Ethan's going to start working in May. So maybe it's just going to be a drop-in party and people come by and grab a burger and leave. I don't know. But start with crisis cleaning. Yeah, and then make a plan. Invite somebody over. Maybe you don't want too many at one time. Tents are expensive to rent. Tents are expensive. And in the mountains, we have very little flat land. But baby steps don't drag out the process, y'all. It just gets you involved in the process to know. Jump in where we are. You don't have to see the top of the staircase. Where is it? The top of the staircase to take the first step. Just jump in and do crisis clean. Some people need to have a little sense of getting things done, and crisis cleaning will do that for you. 15 minutes in the kitchen, 15 minutes in the living room, 15 minutes in your main bathroom, and then 15 minutes to rest. And if you need to go back, do it all over again, then do that. Next question. What tool do you recommend for my windows? Where have you been? Every week, we do weekly home blessing. We tell you to get a purple rag, a wet one and a dry one, and wipe down your windows. I've sent out countless times my Harley video of Harley helping me wash windows because I just used plain water on these things. And he could lick the window after I got through doing it. So folks, I don't know where these questions come from. You're not watching my videos. You're not reading my emails. Because I know I send something out every day about purple rags, just about. Because this is our favorite tool besides a feather duster, carpet sweeper, purple rags. I don't understand how somebody doesn't know that. But you could be brand new. You could be brand new. And I apologize for getting upset. How does the office in the bag save us money? Have you ever overdrawn your bank account? Have you ever gotten a late fee for not paying your electric bill on time? That's how the office in a bag saves you money. It also saves more time because you have everything in one spot. Do I have an office in a bag right here? Yep. Let me get it. This is our office in a bag. And it's upside down. This is our office in a bag. It is a 3-ring binder cover. This is what this is. A 3-ring binder cover. It goes in these little pockets in the side. It just slides right in. And you can put your control journal in there, or you can put some sheet protectors in there and sort your bills if you want to hold on to them. You have places for note cards and thank you notes and pens and pencils and scissors and tape and staples. You turn this in to your office. And that way you can take it with you. Springtime's coming. The kids are going to be out practicing baseball and all kinds of fun stuff. sports wise. We're having football season right now in the mountain. Uh-oh. That was a coffee can that fell. The office in a bag saves you money because you keep everything in one place. It saves you time because it's all in one place and you can grab it and go. It's got a little handle on it. It's not a big intrusive handle, but it'll lay flat on a countertop. And I designed it from a bag that I had when Justin was a little kid when I first started working. It was a great tool for me. They quit making it. So I took that design and went to somebody and had one made, but we changed it up to be able to hold different things like a checkbook. And yes, some people still use checks. We do. People are thanking me for doing the videos. So that's how the office in a bag saves you money, because you have everything you need right there. Next question. I struggle each morning with sending my child to school on time. How can I make the morning routine smoother for us? I feel like we are always behind. It's because you're not going to bed at a decent hour and you're not getting up in a decent hour to be able to get your child out the door. I don't know if your child is riding a bus or you're having to take them to school. I don't know what it is, but you need to get up. You need to plan what time to get up. So if your child needs to be at school at 8 o'clock and you have a 15-minute drive and you have a 15-minute, you factor in a 15-minute grace period, and that means you need to leave the house at 7:30. That's going to get your child at school 15 minutes early on a good day. If you have a flat tire, you still have time to get your child to school. You got that? But you got to count back. So how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? I want you to get up 15 minutes before the flow of the family. 15 minutes. And get yourself dressed all the way to shoes. Because you're dragging around, not getting dressed, and then you're hopping in the car with your bathrobe on and your fuzzy slippers. And you know, there's nothing more embarrassing for a child to be dropped off at school with mom in her fuzzy slippers, because something's going to happen. She's going to get locked out of the car. Things happen when you have on your bathrobe. It's never happened to me because I've never done it. Because I knew what time Justin caught the bus at 7 o'clock at our house. He had to be waiting on the carport steps to catch the bus. And he never missed a day of school. And he was never late. Ever. Ever. So, factor in what time you need to go. You need to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So if you need to get up, it takes you an hour and a half to get ready, the whole family, then count back 8 hours. So if you need to leave at 7:30, it takes an hour and a half to get ready. So that means you need to get up at 6 o'clock. Well, you need to get up at 5:45, 15 minutes before you get the family up. And this makes getting ready in the morning relaxing because you've picked out your clothes the night before. You've got breakfast ready to go. The table's set for breakfast unless you have a cat. And you can have an enjoyable breakfast. You really can. Know what time you're going to feed the family breakfast. And you're going to say, well, I can't feed them breakfast after they're all ready. Everybody gets dressed to lace up shoes the minute they get out of bed and they make their bed. Everybody gets dressed to lace up shoes. If you need to put an old t-shirt over their clothes while they eat breakfast, then do that. That becomes their little bib. But you just put the t-shirt on over their clothes, and you're good to go. And if you've got to feed the baby or whatever, put a house coat, my grandmother called it a duster, over your clothes. So smock over your clothes. So that you're not going to get your clothes for work messed up. So folks, back the clock up. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. In the bed at 10 o'clock. Start turning things off at 9 o'clock. Getting things on chargers. Getting things done. So that you're in the bed at 10 o'clock. Now, children need children need to be in bed by probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock, some of them. Well, y'all have a good rest of the day. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. I got a story to tell you about. I'm not even going to tell you. I love you all. I will see you at 3. Bring your tea. All we've got now is decaf tea, so get your decaf tea if you don't have any of our tea. And I will be here with a story. No April Fool's joke from me today. The whole world is a joke. See you later.